Meet Radio. He's a bit of a legend here in the small town of Anderson, South Carolina. At 72 years old, he's still in the 11th grade, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
Every year they take a group picture in the gym of all the seniors, it's graduating that year. He will not get in that group. He said he knows he would have to leave.
Not only is Radio a student at T.L. Hanna High School, he's perhaps the most revered member of its football team, the Yellow Jackets, even though he's never played a second of football.
I think it was just God's plan that put Radio right down there on that practice field.
It was 1964 in the heat of August when JV coaches Harold Jones and Dennis Patterson noticed a young man coming to the practices every day holding a transistor radio to his ear.
He started mimicking us, coaches and the players. And so we was trying to get him to come closer to us. We wanted him to get involved. So we said, well, let's get off from a Coke, maybe, and a hamburger. And maybe we can get him to. And that was the trick.
They learned he was 18-year-old James Robert Kennedy, nicknamed Radio because of his obsession with radios. In today's terms, he was born with an intellectual disability and was unable to learn how to read or write and could barely speak. But the coaches and players saw past that and soon made him one of their own.
He wanted to be like the coaches and all. I was a defensive coach, so I'd give the sign, and he'd do the same thing. And then every once in a while, if I, got mad at an official, he'd get mad at the official.
Radio would become a permanent member of the team, going to practices, giving pep talks, and leading them onto the field before games.
Radio really loved those guys out there, and the coaches. He'd do wind sprints, and they loved it. He just grew a part of them.
He came from a rough neighborhood across town and lived with his mom, stepdad, and younger brother, who was also intellectually disabled. Radio loved going into town, perhaps to escape the ridicule and bullying from kids in his own neighborhood.
His mother, she'd worked 2 jobs. She worked in the hospital, and then she did housework. And her biggest concern was these 2 boys, keep them out of the institution. Well, I told her, we'll take care of Radio while he's at the school and everything. Don't worry about it.
So in 1970, the coaches arranged for the 24-year-old to enroll in Hanna High School as a junior. Radio was ecstatic.
I think that saved his life, being able to be out here at Hanna. He was learning all the time.
But the community at Hanna High School would soon realize that what they got from Radio was more than what they were doing for him.
He loves to give hugs. I mean, if you're having a bad day, he can really raise you back up, He's just part of our family. Like you say, I think the good Lord caused on that.
This wasn't the first time Coach Jones reached out to someone who needed friendship.
I had something in my heart for people like that. There was a kid about my age who lived across the street from him. A lot of people would pick on him. So I kind of defended him, and he was my friend. I just think it was the right thing to do.
In 1996, Sports Illustrated writer Gary Smith penned an article about the friendship between Coach Jones and Radio. From there, Hollywood director Michael Tolan brought their story to the silver screen in the movie Radio.
When I'm answering an email, I always put down, if it's a student, I say, well, please find a student that has special need in your school and become their friend. Individuals got a special need, they're just like you and I. They should be treated with respect and everything like we want to be respected.
When Coach Jones retired in 1999, his biggest concern was whether his successor, Terry Honeycutt, and others would take care of his dear friend. He didn't have to worry long.
They stepped up to the plate. Each one, they love him. They want to be part of him. Radio's a radio. He's a man.
One nation, under God.
Today, that friendship continues. And at Hanna High School, you will still find that same 11th grader greeting everyone with a smile and a hug and cheering on his beloved Yellow Jackets. From radio, a young man who couldn't learn how to read, write, or even play a sport comes a lesson we all need to remember.
People with special needs, they give us more love that we can actually return.